Welcome again to the Next Talks, and today we speak with the founder and CEO of Viseven. We don't have every day the chance to speak with founder of a company, right? And the founder is, as we all know, Nataliya Andreychuk. And first, we will start with a very simple question. Nataliya, how are you doing?
Oh, great question for the beginning. Dario, thank you very much for such great introduction. Everything is good as it could be. And I'm very excited about this interview and about the questions you will prepare to me. So thank you for invitation.
You're very welcome, Natalia, as usual. And let's deep dive into the first question, which is Natalia, tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you start the V7 company, or what is actually the idea behind V7?
You know, there is no company on the earth who does not have their fancy story about how company began, right? And about the founders. So our story is also very fancy. I have a degree in psychology and English literature, and of course, then I had a lot of studying in marketing, IT. But first, it was this. And with my friend and my business partner, Vyacheslav Vasilenko, we were thinking how to create a company, an agency, which produce like it was back in the times when iPhone was just the very new toy, very new device on the market. And we were starting to produce the content and the applications for iOS. It was our first very funny business where we were thinking how to make this content much more affordable, how Pharma can start using the iPads in their everyday life, and what they will do once they will meet the doctors and patients and showing the important information in one-to-one dialogue. And it was very funny idea because you understand it was the sunrise of the new technology plus the new communication style. And we have this idea how to make it affordable for many companies, this type of content, how to create this platform. There was not so many people, I would say, who understood us back to that times. But with the time, you see how it progressed and developed, and now everyone understands that acceleration in content production for pharma and life sciences is a must. But who was caring about that 12 years ago? So that was a funny idea how we started. We just had this nice idea about pharma saving lives plus innovation, technology, and acceleration of communication, plus making it affordable. Plus another idea was to build somehow a company which is in our hometown, which is Zhytomyr in Ukraine, provides the source of education for the universities. So that was the one part of the idea was the source of the affordable content, and another the source of the employment for the junior students. That means these two ideas were quite, I would say, ambitious. So that's how the company began.
Incredible story. So you went literally from a garage company to how many people?
Today we have 756 people on our payroll, and we are growing. From this small town in Ukraine, we now have a big office in Argentina. We have India. We are developing Poland. We have our office in Canada and the US, and of course France. And we are not stopping here. We are thinking about Australia and even more.
That's interesting. Maybe just to mention, because what I really learned is that not many people globally know that Ukraine is extremely well known for high tech and for, let's say, very, very advanced technology. I mean, in the past, as you know, even better than I do, for instance, the whole rocket engineering was done by Ukrainians, right, in the ex-Soviet Union, which means since ever you're very well known for high tech and for producing added value products, not the cheap one, right?
Exactly, and that was, I would say, we have a very talented engineers and so many eager students to possess the new knowledge. So that was a very fruitful ground to start the company with understanding how education works, how technology, what technology is on high demand, then what pharma needs today, what kind of value we are able to bring. So the combination of those just helped us not only to grow but also to create. I think it's quite demanded product today. Like our platform, eVisert, is in a quite big demand as a content acceleration tool. Is bringing a lot of I would say speed up in creating the different types of content, from e-details to the emails and landing pages and so on.
Thank you, Natalia. Next question. Based on the fact that you're leading almost 800 employees, which certainly is a big challenge and which challenges your leadership style, let's speak about.
Is it?
Sorry?
Is it a big challenge?
Yeah, I suppose. So let's speak about leadership. How would you describe your leadership style and how do you communicate with your employees? Any tips maybe to traditional and conventional pharma in terms of the leadership style, which you see, of course, on a daily basis compared to your business?
Dario, you promised do not ask tricky questions. This one is very tricky. Yes, I'm joking. This is very, very interesting, though. I would describe my leadership style as direct, transparent, helping, compassionate, but I wouldn't really tell people if I think they are wrong. I wouldn't keep silence or tell them they're right. So I'm very direct in communication. If there is something which could be done better, I will always tell it. Then if I can help, I will always help. If there is something which the employee or my colleague needs to know about his her work, there will be no lies, no uh, beating about the bush. There will be a direct statement. But this brings very much efficiency in communication. Of course, not everyone is prepared to have the honest and very transparent feedback. And this is the culture we cultivate in our company. All the time we are working together. Doesn't matter what kind of position you are taking in the company. The biggest value you are giving honest, transparent feedback to your colleague, to your subordinate, and to your boss. And this culture is cultivated by all the departments and all the leaders across the organizations. And I think it describes quite good my leadership style. So this is transparency, honestly, feedback, always feedback. And if the situation is great, so that to be greatly prized, but if it is wrong, so that there will be no silence, there will be also the feedback about that. And this communication proved to be very efficient, at least for Viseven, because we keep growing. There are people who are working with us since the day the company was established, and their careers, their career opportunities are always in my personal attention. Like many people who have visited Ukraine before the war and even visiting any of our office and meeting us as a team, they're wondering, are all your people knowing you and you all knowing all the people? I see, like we try to do so. Maybe not everyone, but most people knowing me personally, and I know mostly personally all the people. And this is the secret, because it keeps these relationships very tight. we are keeping this relationship transparent, honest, and very close. So showing the example, giving the feedback, and helping to grow.
If I may add, I would add certainly kindness and compassion because we work with many V7 colleagues, obviously. And I have this philosophy that everyone, I mean, you as a CEO, has such kind of employees like he or she deserves. So that's why, I mean, they are somehow reflecting your reflection as well, and the reflection of the values, how you create and build a company, right? So if I may add, compassion and let's say kindness also is a huge V7 value.
Yes, yes, like a family. It's like a family style. Always we know what is happening, going on, helping each other, and always helping us to live our best lives and our best lives at work.
Next question. I would say your flagship product is eWizard, right? But how would
Yeah.
you describe what is actually the best V7 service or product on which you are most proud of?
Yeah, that's also a very good question because I think it shouldn't be limited to just one platform as a wizard. You know, like what we bring to our customers as the biggest product is flexibility, agility, and acceleration. So this is always missing, like flexibility and agility in the giant companies are always the things which are in high demand, and we are bringing those by our platforms, by our services, and by assisting to transform their content production. One of the worst examples, because content production is where we are the most active. So that I think acceleration, innovation, agility, and flexibility is our product in services, in platform, and our people.
Fantastic, Natalia. Next question. Since very recently Pharma shifted to being value driven as well as very much customer orientated, how did that particular shift and impacted your business?
You know, it's a very good point, and we are very lucky to live today in this era when pharma goes from price per medicine to beyond the pill and patient centricity, and pay attention to the value-driven communication, services, and products. I think this shift is happening because there are new generations of people grown, and they are value driven, and their values are different from the usual segmentation we used to have. And we had one of those interesting discussion on one of your meetings. I think there was a guest from Sanofi where we discussed this great potential which is opening not only for Viseven but for all the vendors, for all the agencies who are closely working with the industry, and for the industry itself, to bring the products and services which help to make our, I would say, to make pharma be more personal, more oriented on the patient, and help all of us to be healthier and to live longer. So, and to fight the most dangerous diseases which are happening every day. Like there are a lot of innovations today which are like I would say for oncology. I don't know, we are participating in development many mobile applications which are very personal, which can really profile the very concrete person and help to understand the kind of treatment they are receiving. Plus, for the doctors, because we know that all the cases are very personal, to understand all the specifics about this particular patient, getting the data back about the behavior, about the habits, about everyday life and routine. So this type of personalization is happening right now, and it brings a lot of value for us as patients and This is the biggest change, because from commercial communication in the past, we have been driven into this work today, which is helping not just to sell something, but this is helping, really helping us to be healthier. And this is driven by pharma. So this big shift, and plus the technology shift with all artificial intelligence, prediction, automation in everything, like translation, languages, there is no problem about that. Any content you will be producing on any application for this content acceleration or being produced, this will be not dependent on the languages. Why I'm stressing on that, because I'm old enough to remember the times then localization of anything was a big pain, and this localization was nearly manual. And now we do have all the tools, and what we have changed the attitude. Right now we are value driven, and that gives enormous opportunities for vendors to create a lot of tools for patients, and pharma supports it greatly. So this is really a big impact on us.
Fantastic, Natalia. Next question I really have to ask. The war in Ukraine, how did it impact to V7? I mean, especially I know from where we're coming from, because 30 years ago, Croatia also was in the very same position like today Ukraine is. And I believe that this is maybe even the biggest challenge which you ever faced in your professional career, right?
Yes, first of all, you can imagine, like, I was never thinking that there will be time like this in my life, in my career, in the life of my family, my colleagues, my other family, my Viseven. I was never thinking about that when the events were much more realistic. Even before the war, we were sitting with the board of directors and creating these plans, you know, A, B, C. Like, we never were thinking, creating these plans, that we will be in the plan C in a matter of weeks. Like, because the plan A is like to keep everyone connected, informed. There is no active events, there is no ground war, the communication safety will be no problem. Then the plan B is relocation, and there is already a problem with transportation, everything. And the plan C, when everyone is a bit in stress and we need to connect all the people from different countries around the world. So after all these weeks, months, and challenges, how it impacted Viseven a lot. Like people, like organization, we became stronger. Like a lot of our colleagues are defending our land, are defending us, and we are supporting them and their families. We we are doing a lot in terms of trying to help, to volunteer with the money, equipment, whatever it takes, creating special foundation inside our organization. And once, if Viseven is working, seems the percentage of this budget will be reallocated to this fund, and it means like the war will be finished faster. So this is our motto. So, and from the good sides, to tell this, our colleagues now placed across all the Europe. So they are in France, in UK, in Poland, in
Great
Croatia.
size goals, right?
Yes, exactly. In Spain, in Italy, all around the Europe, and even in Australia. So we do have people right now in every continent, and they are our people working with our customers. And this is the thing which was a challenge to adjust, because like people were not meant to be in that time zone where appeared, and like we have to adjust their function to their role and all of that. But in the end of the day, we can see like Viseven has now more international face, more global face. I think we have more countries, we have more possibility to service our customers better, and this is some kind of the agility and strength. So how it happens, and it opens us the eyes that our other offices were supporting us, like the office in Argentina, like a big production hub on our side when the crisis in Ukraine began. So this office was really one of the biggest hubs, like to support and to do not stop any work what was ongoing. Then the India office started to grow because we have to support our customers, and the work was never stopped. But our colleagues in Ukraine, they are amazing. Guys, you are amazing. So you are doing so great job, and I'm so thankful for every day you are working so devotedly and so great. So that means like our team became very strong.
Fantastic. So even after 1000 day of war, you are so optimistic, so positive. This is really something what should be a role model. So fantastic. Let's move
We are
forward.
growing. We are growing.
Even better. So good for you. Let's move forward to the quick fire question deck, which we prepared for you. Here we would just like to ask you for a shortest possible answer, because the questions are structured in that way. And the first question which I would like to ask you, Nataliya, is a habit that makes you very unique.
I like swimming 5 a.m. in the morning.
Every
Really?
day.
That's a nice one. Never heard about this, but independently from the temperature, or?
Independently, all the year round.
Fantastic. Next question, define the meaning of family for you.
My family, like my daughter says, she's a PhD in psychology as well and culture, so she done it for me. So my family are the people who are the closest in the life. They may not be the blood relations, like, but they are such close at every time, so they are family. So this is family. So that means my family is very big, because I have many people who are very close to me in my life, supporting all the time, and they are not my blood relations, but they are family.
Thank you, Nataliya. Next one, Nataliya in one single word. One word which perfectly describes you.
Unstoppable.
Whoa, like the Sia song. Okay, and the last one, your favorite quote?
Favorite quote, right?
Exactly.
There are lots of them. There are lots of them. But I really like this one. Like whatever we do, and it does not kill us, but make us stronger. So it's good. So whatever we do, we have to become stronger.
Fantastic,
Oh,
Nataliya.
oh,
With that
that's
said,
good.
thank you, Nataliya. With that said, I would like to thank you for this very amazing, meaningful interview, and wish all the best. Hopefully, we will see each other also very soon in person, and take very good care.
Yes, thank you very much, Daria. And I also hope we will see us in person the next time. And thank you very much for the interview. Wish you a very nice day.
Bye.
Bye.